Hey Husky community, welcome to another episode of 60 Formula. Hope you're doing well today. What are you looking at, lady? Is there something up on the roof? What's up there? I don't see anything. What are you looking at? Happy Sunday! It's the end of the weekend, which means tomorrow's Monday, but today is the day of rest. It's the day you get all that junk off your chest. So to make your life a little bit easier, we're gonna be bringing you an awesome video today with both of the Siberian Husky pizzas. You ready for a treat, bro? That's good enough. Boom! Shakalaka! So one of the most important parts about owning a Siberian Husky, besides, enjoying their beautiful beautiness, all their floofiness, is having the responsibility to train them. Training a Siberian Husky, or any dog for that matter, is such a good idea because it ensures that they remain safe and that others around you remain safe. Training your dog is something that is never super simple to do. It's a lot of practice, it takes a lot of time and patience. But if you put in the love, if you put in the time, you're gonna get a lot out of it. Hila, can I get a paw? Can I get the other paw? Stand. Stay. Good girl. Lay down. Roll. Other way. Up. Come. Spin. Good girl. So I know I just showed off with Hila a little bit right there, but you can see why tricks are super duper important. Not only is it important for your dog or your Siberian Husky to listen to your commands, but tricks are also good for exercising your doggo's brain, getting their mind working a little bit. So whenever you're bored at home and they're just lying around, it's a fun idea to just go, yo, Britney Spears, can you bork? There you go, bro. Boomeroni. Now I get it. On this channel, I make it look super simple. Anytime we work with the Huskies, I'm just like, dude, do whatever I want. And my Huskies seem to just, listen to whatever I say. I understand that you at home, owning a Husky, or any dog for that matter, may not get the same response out of your dog. You may be telling your dog like, hey, can you please do this thing for me? Can you bark? Can you roll? Can you speak? Can you sit? And your Husky's just looking at you like, excuse me? Or maybe they're just not listening at all and it's like they're running around you a million miles per hour and the last thing they even care about is the words that are coming out of your mouth. Well, today on 60 Formula, we're going to be fixing all of that junk. I'm going to be providing you guys with the top tricks and tips necessary to teach your Siberian Husky pizza, or any dog for that matter, how to listen to your commands more effectively and more often. So if you're having a tough time with your Siberian Husky at home and they're not listening to the words that you're saying and they're being a stubborn little floofy head, watch this video and it's gonna cure all your ailments, baby. So come with us, will you, on another episode of 60 Formula where we find out 3 simple tricks and tips that'll teach your Siberian Husky or any dog how to learn tricks in a matter of moments. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? If you weren't already aware, Siberian Huskies are incredibly stubborn, which means that getting them to pay attention to you or getting them to listen to your simple commands can be a huge challenge. Now, I know a lot of people get Huskies and they get all sorts of different treats. They say, hey man, the turkey and the jerky ain't working. What do? I'm trying all the biscuits and all the cookies I can, but my Husky just ain't listening to the things I'm saying. That's why we gotta hack into a Husky's mind. We gotta get in there like we're Neo from the Matrix and be like, all right, you know what? Instead of thinking of this as a dog, we gotta think of this like a computer program. How do I get in there and hack that Husky brain and trick you into thinking, hey, maybe I should start listening more often?
I know Husky training.
Show me.
What do you think? Can you sit up? You thinking about it? Yeah? You thinking about it? Can you sit pretty? Can you sit up? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Oh, yeah, you gonna think about it a little bit? All right, can you speak? Good girl. Rue's like,
All right, baby, let's get into numero uno.
all right, first things first. Whenever you're working with your Siberian Husky or you're working with a dog, you're probably going to be working with high value treats. This thing in my hand right here, which is just basically a dog cookie. Now, Britney Spears, he tends to very much enjoy dog biscuits, so cookies are one of his favorite things. But this isn't the case for all Siberian Huskies or all dogs. So if your dog is not enticed by cookies, I suggest you go and get something super delicious like turkey or deli meat. We suggest getting turkey or chicken from the deli. Dogs typically tend to react very positively to that kind of thing. Excuse me, sir, I did not say you could... Excuse me. Good Lord, my sir, I did not say you could have it yet. So if your husky is not listening to you whenever you're using treats, don't get discouraged right away. You may not be using the right treat, and that's important to understand. Sir, no. Not yet. Now, once you find the treat that your dog does like, one of the most important things, and this is going to be tip numero uno, is that the distance between your dog and the treat matters a lot. The closer they are to the treat, the less willing they are to listen to you. And the farther they are from the treat, the more willing that they are to listen to you. Think of it this way. The closer the treat is to them, the more they think that they're gonna get it. The farther the treat is away from them, they think that it's gonna go away and they might not get it. So they're more willing to listen. I'm gonna show you an example right now. Hila, can you do me a favor? Can you sit? Oh, now that I'm taking it away, you're changing your mind a little bit, huh? Sit. Taking it away. That's what I thought. One thing that we try to do whenever we train dogs, especially Siberian Huskies, is we're trying to eliminate distractions. Distractions are what cause your dog to not listen to you in the first place. So if you have a treat and you're shoving it in your dog's face like, hey, look at this, it's hard for them to focus on what you're asking them to do. Try and keep that treat way back here, kind of towards your chest whenever you're trying to teach your dog simple commands. While treats are a good way to get your dog to learn how to do tricks, they can become a distraction while you're training. So if you don't know any better, you're probably just taking treats and being like, hey, look, here's a treat, I need you to listen, when really you can take that treat and hold it by your chest, and it does way more than if the treat is right in front of their nose. So just remember, treats can be a distraction if you are flailing them in front of your dog's face or they're way too close to your pup. So if you feel like your training is hitting a dead end or your dog isn't making any progress, take that treat and bring it back a little bit. It'll entice your dog to listen to you a whole lot more. Isn't that right, dude? Good boy. All right, the next tip, number 2, is going to be not to repeat yourself too often whenever you're training your doggo. So many people get aggravated, they lose patience whenever they're training their husky or their dog and they start going, sit, 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 sit. Whenever you repeat yourself 100,000 times over and over and over again, it becomes really distracting and hard for your dog to understand what you're asking them to do. So it's really good to practice waiting about 3 to 5 seconds between each command. For example, watch this. Come, Hila. Can you sit? Good girl. You see how I waited a few seconds? She did a spin first, which was not the command I asked for, but I waited a couple seconds after the spin and she sat down anyways, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So you don't have to continuously say, sit, no, sit, no, sit, no. Just be patient with That's right. Just be patient with your husky and they're gonna figure it out on their own. Give them a few seconds. If they don't do it and they're looking at you for guidance, go ahead. It's cool to repeat it, but just wait 3 to 5 seconds for them to perform the trick before you repeat it again. So number 2 is to basically remember not to rush your dog. Don't repeat things over and over again because it's gonna confuse your husky, I promise you. And finally, going into tip number 3, whenever you're trying to teach your husky some cool tricks. One thing you really need to remember, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that most people who are trying to train their husky or trying to train their dog make. You have to take itty bitty baby steps. For example, a lot of you today have seen that Hila can roll whenever she's laying down on the ground. Now, to train this trick, you don't start off by just going, all right, we're gonna lay you on the floor and then I expect you to roll. You have to go into itty bitty tiny baby steps. I know I keep repeating that, but it's important to say because dogs' brains kind of work in these little baby puzzle pieces. So if you want to teach your dog to do something like roll over, you need to start by teaching them how to lay down. Good boy. That's the very first step. So when your husky is laying down, the next step is basically to guide your husky into laying down like that, and then you reward them when they're laying down like that, that's when you give them the reward. And you're like, good job. You actually went into a lay down on your side position. Then once they know that one, you teach them how to go from that side over to the other side, and you focus on that for a while. Then you take the entire motion and you apply it in one entire trick. I know this sounds crazy, but teaching a dog how to do crazy tricks or teaching them how to listen to your commands effectively is kind of like building a Lego set. You have to do it piece by piece by piece. And eventually, when you're done, you can see the whole thing play out just like you wanted it to. But when you're teaching it to your Husky, it is not going to be simple. It's not going to be done overnight, and you're going to need a lot of patience. So remember, when you're training your dog or you're training your Husky, do it in tiny increments. Do it in baby steps, and you're gonna make the most amount of progress that you could imagine. You won't need to pay people $300 million to train your dog. This is one of the biggest reasons why I made this channel, is dog training is so expensive, and it's totally possible for you to do it. You just gotta be patient and believe in your dog, and also believe in yourself. What up, dude? Did you like the episode? You think it was dope? Yeah? Thought it was cool? It was pretty informative, wasn't it? You little orange head. All right, everybody, we had a blast today. That's going to be about it from us, but we hope you learned a lot about these 3 tips for training your Siberian Husky or your dog at home, some of the essential tricks. If you guys have any questions, be sure to comment down below, and if you aren't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe for some of the best, most informative Husky content on the YouTubicals. And until next time, Husky community, we'll see you with another episode of Guess What? Yup, you guessed it, whatever we make. Peace!
Excuse me, sir. The producers didn't think that was good enough. Can we get another nose boot, please? Let's turn it back. Okay. Perfect! We loved it. Thank you. Thank you, George. You did well. There you go. There's your payment.